Hi everyone, I am Shritala and my teammates are Ankita, Preksha and Seema. I plan to say a few words about addressing of data in hard disk. In the first, it's a picture of hard disk where hard disk is one of the widely used hardware for storing permanent data is hard disk drive. It is used for storing of data for long term use. Then it's a history. It started with RAMAC. IBM made the first commercial hard disk drive based computer and called it RAMAC for that is known as random access method of accounting and control. Its storage system was called the IBM 350. It was big, it required an entire room to operate. Then the commercial usage of hard disk drives began in 1957 with the shipment of the production IBM 305 RAMAC system including IBM model 350 disk storage. Thus, capacity of hard drives have grown exponentially over time. When the hard drives became available for personal computers, they offered 5 megabytes capacity. Then it's the introduction of hard disk. Hard disk is the hardware component that stores all your digital content, where it's a spinning magnetic disk known as hard disk drives have been used for decades as non-volatile storage for computer systems. In the early 1980s, these drives were the size of small washing machines and could hold around 64 megabytes of data. And addressing or locating those files on a hard disk is known as hard disk addressing. There are mainly two types of addressing: CHS addressing, LBA addressing, where CHS addressing is of cylindrical head sector addressing, where LBA addressing is of logical block addressing. And the next slides will be continued by Ankita.
Hi everyone, this is Ankita. As Sheetala told, there are two types of addressing. I will be discussing the first topic, CHS addressing. CHS addressing is nothing but cylinder, head and sector. This the disk is divided into cylinder, head and sector. It is the process of identifying individual sectors on disk by their position in track, where the track is determined by head and cylinder numbers. It was an earlier method for addressing hard disks. Even though CHS now no longer maintains a physical relationship with the disk as actual characteristics, CHS still used by many utilities. The first one I'll be discussing about head. The valid range is between 0 and 1023 cylinders. There are two heads in two sides of disk, and head is corresponding to one side of disk. Therefore, the number of head indicates which side is data located. And the next one is cylinder. Hard disk consists of one or more platters with a read-write head is located on each side of platters. Vertical section on corresponding ring across all platters and side is called as cylinder. The valid range is between 0 and 254 heads. Therefore, in this, the number of cylinder will be equal to the number of tracks. And the next one is sector, and the valid range is between 1 and 63 sectors. Track is divided into several small segments called as sector. Although small, it is fan shaped. That's why it is called as sector. Capacity of 512 bytes. And the next will be continued by Seema.
Thank you, Ankita. As explained by Ankita about CHS addressing, I will be continuing with the main type of addressing, that is LBA addressing, that is logical block addressing. Logical block addressing is a common schema used for specifying the location of a data stored on the computer storage device That is, you know that in secondary storage system such as hard disk, it provides a simple linear address space to the host. In operating system, it typically uses 64 bits for addressing of disk. For hard disk larger than 7844 gigabytes, there continue to be need to support for CHS addressing for compatibility reasons and at least for booting. Modern BIOS, that is basic input output system, can switch to the logical block addressing made using the N30th interrupt extension. A logical block thus corresponds by using CHS addressing. And next is the diagram of the physical and logical organization. And is the LBA addressing figure. And it consists of head, track, and sector. That is, track is nothing but a circular path on a surface of disk. That is, information is magnetically recorded and it is also read. And next is the sector where the fixed amount of user accessible data is present. For the each sector is assigned some data. And here it comes, we find of addressing, that is head to head, that is head 0 to head 1 and head 2 to head 2, and the same way up to head 5. And next is about the difference between and the advantages of LBA. There are some advantages and also some disadvantages of LBA. Advantages are allocation and deallocation. It is nothing but allocation is memory is very fast. Only the list of free frames need to be maintained. Swap in and swap out. Operation is very fast. As the page size matches the disk block size, data can be moved to and from the disk very easily. External fragmentation. Where there is no external fragmentation, each and every frame from the memory can be allocated to process. And here is some disadvantages. Additional memory reference. It requires additional memory reference to read the information from the page. Size of the table may be too large to keep the main memory information. Internal fragmentation. Internal fragmentation occurs when the last page of the allocation unit is not full. And LB addressing can be translated into the CHS addressing, that we can have the formula cylinder is equal to LBA by heads per cycle cylinder and sectors per track. Thank you. Next slide will be continued by my friend Preksha Kumar.
And next is addressing mode. Let's see the addressing mode of CHS. CHS is a process of identifying individual sector on a disk by their position in a track, where their track is determined by a head and cylinder numbers. Once the number of CHS are known, the location of data and the capacity of the disk can easily be confirmed. And the formula for this is capacity plus number of heads into number of cylinders into number of sectors into 512 bytes. In large number of addressing, the number of cylinder is divided by integer and the number of head multiplies integer. Then the logical CHS parameters are obtained to address. And next is the addressing mode of LBA. In modern BIOS can switch to logical block addressing mode using the int13h interrupt extension. Using LBA, the hard disk is simply addressed as a single large device, which simply counts the existing block starting at 0. In LBA block, thus corresponds to a sector using CHS addressing. To apply LBA, we should be sure that it will support both OS and BIOS. And these are the references we use to this topic. Thank you.